is Miss Mary, your teacher of English. I'll be taking you through a lot of revision in English under the 844 system for now. So I'm sure you know that English has 3 papers, paper 1, paper 2, and finally paper 3. So paper 1 usually out of 60, paper 2 out of 80, paper 3 60, which brings us to a total of 200, and usually we convert this to 100 and finally you get your grade. So today I am going to major on paper 1. I'm going to major on paper 1, and as you can see, the topic for today being stress and intonation. Stress and intonation. So paper 1 has 3 major questions. The first question, usually out of 20, is functional writing. Today we will not look into it. Then the other one, which is out of 10, a monster for most of us, is the cloze test. Okay? We are not going to look into it today. Then finally, we have oral skills. Oral skills, which is out of 30. So basically you can see 20, 10, 30 brings us to our 60. Here, we'll talk about it here, but today let's just concentrate on the oral skills, which is usually out of 30. And as you can see, it has the most marks, and so we really need to concentrate on it. So the first aspect, or the first point, or the first thing rather, that we're going to discuss is stress and intonation. Basically, what is stress? Not the things that we go through in life, okay? But stress is putting emphasis, okay? Putting emphasis or prominence on a part, or on a part of a word, okay? To bring out the intended meaning. So, we're looking at stress. What is stress? And when you hear the word stress, especially as teenagers, many things come in your mind. Stress, issues disturbing you, but that is not what we are looking at. We are looking at stress in terms of pronunciation and delivering the message that is intended. So what is stress? Stress is putting emphasis, okay, on one part of a word to bring out, okay, the intended meaning. Stress is putting emphasis on one part of a word to bring out the intended meaning. And when you say one part of a word, we're referring to syllable. Okay? Syllable. So I'll take us back to kindergarten. I'm sure your teacher told you what is a syllable. Remember when you used to say ba, be, bi, bo, bu, all that? Fa, ha, ba, ka, da, and all that? Those were syllables. So a syllable, okay, it's a combination of letters that has one vowel sound. Remember, okay? A combination of letters that has a single vowel sound. For instance, the word book. Book. Okay? So what vowel sound can you hear? Remember, b is not a vowel and k is not a vowel. These are consonants. So we only remain with the oo. So you can hear book. So it has only one syllable. It doesn't matter how long a word is, as long as when you pronounce it, how many vowel sounds can you hear? The word Mary, my name. Mary. Very short, but how many vowel sounds can you hear? So you go back to the vowels A, E, O, R. But some people say U as well. But let's just go with A, E, O, R. Mary, Mary. So I can hear A, the vowel A, and I can hear the vowel E. So how many syllables does the word Mary have? 2. Okay? A and E. So that is what stress is. Stress is putting emphasis on one part of the word to bring out the intended meaning, and we usually look at the syllables. Okay? So let us look at my drawings here. Okay? I'm very artistic. So this is a present. This is a present. And I don't know what this is, but the spelling is the same. Okay, this is a present. And this one is present. Present, present. This girl here and this boy here are in the presence of an audience, and there's something they're presenting. Maybe it's a choral verse or something, or a poem. And this one is a present. It's your birthday, so I'm giving you a present. You understand? So, if you look at this, this is a noun. This is a noun, and this is a verb. Noun, verb. So let's together pronounce this word in 3, 2, 1. Present. Present. Okay? So, which part of this word are we putting stress, or are we putting emphasis? Present. Present. Okay? I feel like it is the first part. So we are putting our emphasis on the first part, which is pre. Okay? Present. 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 We are putting our emphasis here. Then when we come to the second one, my beautiful girl and boy presenting before an audience, we are putting stress on the second part, and that is why it is a verb. Okay? It is a verb because you are putting a lot of emphasis and stress on the second syllable. The word present and present, at the first part, we just defined what stress is, and we also looked at syllable. Okay? Remember what a syllable is: a combination of letters but has one vowel sound. Okay, so let's look at stress one more time. So if we stress the first syllable, meaning if you put emphasis on the first syllable, that will automatically be a noun, N for the noun, okay? If we stress the first syllable, for example, present, okay? Present, convert, upset, all those, you can understand and you can hear me putting a lot of emphasis on the first syllable of the word. So many a times that brings out the noun. So in an exam setup, if they ask you to identify if this is a noun or if it's an adjective or a verb, remember always that if we stress the first syllable, we get a noun. So the second point is, if we stress the second syllable or the second part of the word, we get a verb. Okay? So they can ask you in an exam setup to identify if these words that are stressed, are they either nouns, adjectives, or verbs. So remember the second part or the second syllable, many a times we will get the verb. Then there is a special case. Sometimes we can stress the first syllable and even the second syllable and end up with an adjective. So it can either be state or attributive adjective. An example is these 3 sentences that you're going to use here. She has a stomach upset. She has a stomach upset. You know, when your stomach is rumbling. Yeah? So remember, I'm putting a lot of emphasis on the first syllable. Up. Up. Okay? So you can either underline or use that mark. Then, so here, this is a noun. What about the second sentence? Her mother upset her. Her mother upset her. That is an action. Okay? So if it is an action, what comes in your mind? Definitely a verb. Okay? So where will we put the emphasis? Is it the second part or the first part? Second part. You can either underline or put that mark there. You can't do both. Do not do both. Choose one. And I advise that you go with underlining. It's more elaborate and clear. Then here is the exception. We end up with an adjective, okay? Imani is always angry and upset. Imani is always angry and upset. So, which part of the word are we going to put emphasis on? Is it the first? Is it the second? Okay, good. So it is the second. It is the second because upset is describing Imani's nature. Okay, so there are so many ways in which an examiner can decide to test you. Okay, to test you on this. That is basically in paper 1, oral skills, stress. So we are just looking at stress, okay? So how do they test? They can tell you, they can give you a sentence just like this, sentence is here, and ask you to place the stress. Place the stress to bring out the intended meaning. So you remember you can either use the mark or just underline. You can use the mark or just underline to bring out the intended meaning. Then the second way they can also test you is state whether it is an adjective, a noun, or a verb. State whether it's a noun, adjective, or even a verb. Okay? So in those two ways, be sure that they can test you in that manner. Or the other thing they can do, they can bring a conversation, like a dialogue kind of conversation, right? And they will ask you, if it were you, which word would you stress? Okay? Which word would you stress more? And you give the reason why. Though for today, we are not going to look at that. That is a class for another day. And for this, I hope you've gained a lot concerning matter stress and you've gathered what you need to gather. Until next time, I was your teacher, Miss Mary.